Well, what's with the beating on the head with the chairs and jumping off ladders onto tables, and that's more entertaining than it is sports.
I would say that is more of an entertainment factor when you're going down that route. That's just, to me, I've always thought that part of it was completely idiotic. Especially with, if you're talking about, you can relate this back to football with concussions.
Yes.
You're talking about someone like Chris Benoit, who had repeated chair shots to the head, and for entertainment purposes, and forgetting about the fact that, there is a sport behind it. There is a lot involved. And I could understand it because I, I was training in an independent wrestling federation, and I work closely with them, and your body takes such a toll. Just for even for the entertainment factor, your body is taking a lot of toll. You're taking bumps from everything onto the wrestling mat itself, which is nothing more than just a piece of foam over plywood or out onto a floor.
Yeah.
And you're sometimes taking these from even considering high spots, like the top rope. If you're taking a back bump from the top rope, that's going to put a whole hell on your body. But when I see too much entertainment taking over, like Vince McMahon is the prime example of this. He is just all about the dollar. If it can go bigger, better.
And speaking of dollars, Spence, how much would you say that this industry, this wrestling industry, generates annually? How much would you say they're taking in?
It's an astronomical
Just an estimate.
It has to be in the hundreds of $1 million.
Wow.
If you think about it, they have 3 or 4 shows every week.
And they sell out everywhere they go.
And they're live on the Sci-Fi Network. They're live on USA. The pay-per-views alone, they have at least one pay-per-view a month.
Sometimes two. That's a little ridiculous with that. But Vince McMahon, like I said, he focuses more on the entertainment factor of it. There is a sport factor involved, and I don't think a lot of people realize the sport factor, especially when come back to 1989 when Vince McMahon flat out had to tell people about the matches being predetermined and how much of an I don't know if you remember that when he had this big thing. And then that followed up with the whole steroid scandal, which could link back to the football of wrestlers using steroids and the effect it has on them.
Not just steroids, not to interrupt you, but it's hard drugs as well.
Any drug. You look at cocaine.
Well, agree to disagree. This industry is generating tons of money. That not alone the merchandise that's being sold and everything flying off the shelves. So Vince McMahon has built an empire.
But yeah, I would think there is a level of sport to it that people don't realize, especially when when the athletes, because you have to be very athletic. The conditioning you have to go through alone to get your body used to taking that kind of abuse. And then when your body does take that abuse, people like Chris Benoit, who did abuse the hell out of their body with both steroids and other substances, and then goes and kills his family, murders his wife, kills his son.
That was a big story.
Hangs
himself.
Big story. And
very big story.
Apparently he had the mind of an 85-year-old Alzheimer's patient. And is it at the cost of entertainment? Vince McMahon pushed him to entertain so much. And if you look at his athletic ability, he was a phenomenal in-ring competitor. But
there's a lot, too, besides Chris Benoit. Randy Savage with his heart.
Macho Man.
Man, yeah. He passed away within the past few months.
Yeah, I was told. Okay, moving right along, guys, here on schedule.